We made a video on spiritual politics and how to find your spirit family, your lineage, your spiritual lineage. And you have to know that information first before we get into spiritual politics, what type of conversations are being had in these spiritual courtrooms. Note that these places and words that we use, example, courtroom, isn't the actual place, but if you in this vessel and this reality was to go to these places, your consciousness can't really fathom what it's looking at, so it'll try to relate what it's looking at to something you already know. So if you was to go there, you would construct a courthouse, even if it's not really a courthouse. So moving forward, now we know what your spiritual lineage is. Watch the other video if you don't know. Now we're stepping into the room. Every single being is one. That's what you must anchor walking into this room. You can't even get in this room thinking that things are separate. You can't even get in this room thinking that love isn't just what it is. Remember, we made a video saying evil isn't real, Satan isn't real. None of these things are actually real because we are moving off of what is truth. When you go into the realms of the beyond and not being lumped in this world with all of its illusions, with all of its fallacies, with all of its separation, we know that God is of love. We know God is truth. We know when we go into the realms of spirit, you can't actually hate. You can try to, but you can't. See, there's so many laws in place in the realms of spirit. If you was to go to where the Ascended Masters is and try to hate, all they're going to do is kick you out and bring you to a lower realm where those things exist. That's why when people will come and say, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, God did this and God did that to this culture and burn down this and pillage this. That wasn't God. But what God is murdering and pillaging and stealing and enslaving. That doesn't sound very nice. I don't know if I want to serve a God doing that. It just sounds crazy. That sounds like an egotistical man. That sounds like human traits or traits of density. I'll wipe my hands with that. So when people actually do this work and they actually astral project and they actually are having clearance to go to these high realms, and you start to try to bring emotions and things that doesn't serve with love, they know, yeah, you'll get kicked out. So act accordingly. You go in this room, you are a being of oneness. You go in this room, you're a representation of God. When you go in this room, nothing is separate. We're all one. We may have our disagreements, but at the end of the day, we're going to handshake, hug. I love you guys, child. Move on. So, as of right now, there's this theme that's going on in these spiritual rooms regarding these spiritual politics, regarding Earth. And these themes are, what is the easiest way we're able to display this level of light to people in such a way that they'll be drawn to it undoubtedly, without any second guessing, without anything? Because we're moving on to this pathway that requires total dedication, total determination. Not just determination to the light, but determination towards and for yourself. People, they don't even know themselves. One, that's why we had to make the video about finding your spiritual lineage. So we had to get past that hump. Then two, people don't even trust themselves. I can guarantee you every single person that is watching this video has had some miraculous thing happen in their life. Well, if that miraculous thing happened in your life, why do you then need another miraculous thing to happen in your life? It already happened. Source is saying another one? The angels are saying another one? When did you become DJ Khaled? We gave you an out. out of a terrible situation that everybody else said, how did you get out of that situation? Shouldn't that be enough? This is the type of dialogue that's happening. So now they're calling the masters, other masters across the globe. See, this type of dialogue that you're hearing in English is actually being spoke about with different masters in different languages. See, once Source sends the inspiration, it's not just to the master that you think is Nadiie, it's to every master. And we're all having the conversation at once. We're all waking each other up at once. It's like when certain inventions are coming back to Earth, people will be like, that's so crazy. Someone invented this on this side of the planet, but that same invention happened on the other side of the planet. The reason is because Source gives it to everybody. Just as you thought Yeshua was over here in this side of the world doing his miracles, there was another master equally as powerful doing his miracles. And another master that was a woman equally as powerful in the same time frame. Source gives it to everyone. So the theme is, when are you going to start trusting yourself? Trusting what you've seen, trusting what you experienced about the beyond, about light, about angels, about your guides, about God. The question is, when will it be enough? Why have you let your ego hijack your body every single day? See, in this world, you have to constantly choose God, choose Source, the light. Because your ego is in autopilot. It's always operating first. When are you going to put your foot down and say, God first when I wake up? What does that look like, Nadiie? When I wake up, my back don't hurt because God's back don't hurt because God don't have a back. My foot don't hurt because I've been walking on it all day because God don't have feet. So why am I identifying with things that involve itself with pain? Well, God only involves itself with love. It's going to be a process at first if you so choose it to be. You can immediately wake up in 1 millisecond and be totally in the light. But that is indicative of how much you're willing to be timeless. So people be asking what's going on with these spiritual politics and what type of conversations are they having. They'll be severely disappointed when the conversations are saying something as simple as trust yourself. And how can we bring forth a level of frequency, a level of nudging, guidance for a people, for a culture, for a collective consciousness that doesn't trust themselves to get them to trust themselves? So that's when these type of messages come forth. I didn't put out a string of videos for a very long time, weeks. You can check the last, I usually post in 3, so you can check, it was early February when we posted. During that entire time, so much is happening. We're astral projecting like crazy. We're getting pulled in the astral realms. We're bringing souls back to heaven. We're meeting beings from our spiritual lineage. They're coming back on this planet. We're speaking. It's a lot going on. We're in these spiritual courtrooms having dialogue. I'm writing for y'all. I'm saying don't go that route. Let me try. Let us try. Let her try to bring this frequency. Because remember, your best is enough. Why? Because you're enough. When are you going to wake up and say, I'm enough, and actually mean it? Not your skills. Who cares about your purpose? Who cares about your gifts? Who cares about your talents? You're enough. The fact that you're breathing is enough. The fact that you're breathing is the gift. The fact that you're breathing is the talent. The fact that you're breathing is your purpose. That's enough. Because you're, say it with me, you're, one more time, you're enough. It's that simple. You anchor this frequency, you go back to heaven tomorrow.